If editing one video for you takes 5+ hours, you're losing out on money every day. Most editors, they believe that being faster means losing quality or rushing. But great editors, they build speed into their workflows, because the faster you can edit as an editor, the more you can earn. So today I will expose the 6 systems that I use every day, and they help me edit 10 times faster. First I have the factory, then I have momentum, third I have the block filter, then shortcuts, then Zero-Destraction, and last one, bonus. And of course, while becoming 10 times faster, I also make 10 times more. The first step here is to build your factory project. This is your editing machine. As soon as this video ends, I want you to open a new project and call it factory, then your client name or niche, depending on how many clients and niches you work with. And this is your base setup. Inside it, you need to place everything you use often. Transition, animations, titles, and music. Everything you're proud of or everything you use oftenly, place it inside of this project. And in this project, structure everything very easily so you know exactly where everything is. For example, animations first, then text, then audio. Every time you import this inside your current project, you never wonder where something goes. Everything has a home. So each time you start editing a new project, just import your factory and then you're ready to go. And as said, if you edit for different clients or different niches, just create one factory per style with the same transitions and same pacing. It keeps every video consistent and saves you hours of work each week. Now you might ask how you create this. Well, you can find a lot of elements and animations online through YouTube or other websites like Envato. Then second, you can of course create your own. And I really recommend creating your own. So next time you're proud of an animation you made, save it in your factory so you're ready to go for your next client's project. This saves you hours, and the clients actually like this because they get a consistent style of their videos. But now, system number 2, the instant momentum system. Speed really dies when you overthink that first cut, and I know a lot of you procrastinate for hours because the footage seems too long. I myself know when I open editing program and I have 2 hours of raw footage and I push it up until the deadline. But I fixed this by starting to edit by building a flow. When you face a problem while editing, something like a color tweak or a missing SFX, or just a cut you're unsure about, don't stop, think about it. Just drop a marker and move on. You'll fix that in the end. And markers aren't just reminders, they're checkpoints. So I want you to use color-coded markers for what slows you down. For example, I use red for recheck, blue for sound, and yellow for effects. This will help you fix everything 3 times faster when your brain is actually in the flow. Because I know most of you have probably felt this hundreds of times. When you start out editing, everything feels really slow. But then, when you're a few minutes in, maybe 40 minutes, maybe an hour for some of you, everything feels a lot smoother and a lot quicker. And that's exactly when you should go back and check your markers. And while we're talking about momentum, it's super important to work in small blocks. I recommend 40-minute sprints where you can't stop or check your phone. Then take a 5 to 15-minute break and you will double your editing time without touching a single shortcut. Now step number 3 is the block filter. Most editors, they lose hours every week doing this, rewatching the same part 10 times when they're done with it. I know probably half of you do this. Every time you finish an animation, you rewatch it 10 times. And I understand you, because I did it as well. It feels super great rewatching something you're really proud of. But the truth is that this is just procrastination in disguise, and this is how you solve it. Before you even think about starting to edit, you add what I call a block filter. It's an image or a still frame that you place at the top of your editing timeline so it doesn't disturb anything else. Then every time you're done with something new, you just drag that still frame so it covers it. So when you try to rewatch, you see just a white screen, for example, and you remind yourself that, damn, I can't rewatch right now. Then as soon as you're done, you remove the block filter and you can rewatch everything. Speed isn't just about cutting faster, it's about cutting once. And the block filter is something I really recommend that keeps you moving forward instead of being stuck procrastinating. Now, number 4 is the shortcuts. And I know that you probably use shortcuts, but I'm going to show you how to use shortcuts to its fullest potential. Some of you might use shortcuts, but I know most of you don't, and it's either because it feels too complicated or just because they're spread out over the whole keyboard. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you to use every single shortcut, because that just won't work. I'm going to tell you how to use 5 to 10 shortcuts perfectly using your muscle memory. And using this right can make it so that 80% of your editing comes from 20% of your actions. But to make this happen, you really need to find these 20%. And this could be cut, delete, play, keyframe, marker, whatever you use the most, and make it effortless. So I want you to sit down and really think about what actions you use daily while editing. Then place them on the left side of your keyboard where your hand is. Then the 2 or 3 actions that you use the most should be placed on your mouse buttons, because your hand is always on the mouse. And if your software allows it, you can become even faster by turning 2 or 3 common actions into one single key. For example, cut, ripple, delete, and play can all happen on one key. But to make this a muscle memory, you need to train it like a sport. So spend 5 minutes only editing with your left hand, so you forces your brain to remember the shortcuts. And within weeks, you will be twice as fast. Now, number 5 is the zero-destraction rule. You think you're slow at editing, but you're probably not. You're just splitting your attention onto 20 different things. To solve this, here's what you need to do. Next time you're going to edit, place your timeline in full screen. Then place your phone in the other side of the room and turn off Discord, Chrome tabs, and no background music. Just you and the project. And then take use of the 45-10 rule. Set a 45-minute timer where you have the deepest work. And when that timer rings, you can take 10 minutes of doing whatever you want. Then repeat this till the project is done. Because every time you check your phone or switch tabs, your brain resets. And just one tab switch can be 30 seconds. Like FPS in a game. The more things you have up and running, the laggier it gets. But now it's time for the bonus system. This bonus tip is what actually cut my editing time in half, and it could do the same for you. The bonus tip is actually 2 different things, but here's the first one. When you're reviewing footage, you need to double the playback speed. And I know you probably think that you will miss a lot of important parts while doing this, but that's actually wrong, because your brain adapts really fast. Most programs I know have placed this on the L key, but it might be different for your program. But as said, when you find it, move it to somewhere on the left side of your keyboard. Then the second part of the bonus tip is to use silence detection. This automatically removes empty gaps, pauses, or briefing clips, so you're only left with what really matters. So every time you start a new project, use the silence detection and remove all the quiet parts, so you're only left with the retakes to remove. And here's where to find it. Most programs already have it, like for example CapCut or Davinci Resolve, but other programs probably have it as plugins, for example Premiere Pro. By stacking these 2 together, faster review and automatic cleanup, you will at least 2 times your editing speed. And you will move through raw footage like it's already pre-edited. But now, if you want to see how to actually use these faster edits into 2K plus clients, watch the video on screen right now. It walks you through the exact systems I use to sign premium clients in under 60 days. And remember, don't just watch, take action.